those who won't conform to the mass opinion, which is the illusion, not the reality, it's a distorted reality, the one that's presented to you via television and so on, the ones who will not conform to that are dangerous to their plan, their agenda. They know that. And so they'd have to find ways of weeding them out at school. And of course, in the last 10, 15 years, they've been giving children amazing psychological evaluations every year to do just that. And the boys who are a bit, what they will call hyper, I would say it was most intelligent guys.
Exactly.
Who ask the questions and become a problem for asking questions. Because they ask questions based on logic, and what they're being taught is not logic. So the teachers get angry because they can't answer them. Well, they put on Prozac and various other drugs.
Absolutely.
This is a real intent of that.
And this is incredible. And at the same time, it seems to be that the in the higher ups, so to speak, it seems that the individual is very, respected in that sense, because again, the theme of the Promethean theme and even the Luciferian mythology is something that keeps popping up, I guess, in regards to the elite, and this is of course, in regards to the mythology is in regards to a rebel that actually breaks free, who actually promotes individuality. So I mean, how the heck
amongst themselves, though?
Exactly. That's the point, I guess.
And yet, there's far more to their occult religion, which is found in every holy book, because their ancestors wrote every holy book. That's why you'll find the same esoteric understandings, if you understand them, within each one. You find you'll always find the opposites in stories. The opposites are all part of becoming the perfect man. And you'll find little stories with a male, his wife. Sometimes his wife is his sister. And you also find another partner coming in. So there's always three, plus the fourth one is also what they call a Jethro, or the Ethiopian. And that's the unknown one that the god accepts, who has a form of magic. This is all taught in higher circles to these groups. They understand this.
That's interesting, because is there connection in regards to Ethiopia in that sense here?
What it means really is the Ethiopian is a magician. That's what they meant by it. And so it's a form of a king who is also a father, who's also a husband, to the wife who is the mother of all. And so she's often referred to as both mother and sister, and wife. And so really the mother is in a form of the matrix. Everything comes through the matrix. And so all life comes through the matrix. They say it's the stream that goes upstream. It's the waters that turn backwards. It's even in the New Testament where Jesus makes the waters of the Jordan turn north. It goes north against its flow. That's the arcane meaning of the source of godhood. And when you join the quaternity, as they call it, you're perfected, and you go up and become one of the gods. This is all understood in all religions, and on a high esoteric level.
Interesting.
But that's just a small part of it that I've said.
Okay. Very interesting. I just wanted to briefly return to a news item in regards to the tracking, and also of course the medication and so forth of young people. This was an article appearing in the Guardian a while back, called "Is Your Baby Playing with Its Toes Yet? If not, the government wants to know why." And basically it says that babies will be assessed on their gurgling, babbling and toe-playing abilities when they are 5 months old under a legally enforced national curriculum for children from birth to 5, published by the government yesterday. And they're going to have 69 government set, they call early learning goals, and recording them against more than 500 development milestone as they go. And if a child don't develop according to the the regular scheme of things, they're gonna make sure to track this and spot if anything is wrong with your child and so forth. Either, I guess, to take the child away from you, or simply begin treatment of some kind of medication or something like this. But again, this is kind of presented as a again, of course, as a helping that they're actually trying to help people and concerned young parents and so forth. But it's amazing how it's presented in this way, and how incredibly this is very radical in that sense, at least to me. I mean, this is incredible stuff, and it just goes by without comment, it seems.
Exactly. When there's no comment, it's part of their agenda.
Yeah. And
definitely, as under the eugenics program, they're now calling it World Bioethics Committees.
Mm.
It's the same group, though, same eugenics strategy.
Sure.
They want to know, because in the near future, in the world they're creating, they're going to decide who will be sterilized.
Mm.
And the earlier they do it, as far as you're concerned, the better.
Hmm.
So all this will eventually lead to those whom they will state are under various tests are not up to a certain par.
Hmm.
And therefore they'll have to be sterilized as a partway measure to the next step, because they know the next 100 years.
Mm. Yeah, and it's going to be like a totally dumbed down, but yet, I guess, super efficient, strong kind of clone type being.
It will be.
A worker bee, basically, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah. There's a good site to look into. He's one of the characters who's up there pushing eugenics,
mm-hmm.
and people think he's a nice man. He's called John Glad,
mm-hmm.
Glad.
Mm.
And he's made a little he's got a website out there. It's called whatwemaybe.org.
Ah, okay.
And on there, this is what he says in one paragraph. He said, evolutionary selection has been radically relaxed in the human species as a result of the development of civilization. Is that word civilization? They never define it, you see.
Ah.
Science in general and medicine in particular. While these advances have hugely benefited current populations, they've led to a significant degree released the species from the biological process which created it and maintains its viability. So he's complaining here that modern standards of living isn't killing enough people off. That's how he's worded it differently, but it's the same thing. Formerly, natural selection took place largely as a result of differential mortality. But now that most people survive well beyond their childbearing years, selection is determined largely by differential fertility. Aside from genetic illnesses, this new selection is also characterized by a negative correlation between fertility and intelligence. It's mainly the lower classes who are having the children.
Yeah.
The core of eugenic concern for over a century. So people should look into his blurb, because he speaks for all the big boys at the UN worldwide.
Interesting. And this was, what did you say, what we will be?
What we may be.
What we may be. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a search for that and put up the link in regards to this show here. Yeah, but again, it seems to be like, they're trying to handle all natural processes of the earth, and trying to emulate, or not emulate them, but they're trying to basically take over these processes and to be able to kind of decide themselves. In that sense, I guess we go back to that old philosophical concept of actually being able to be a god, I guess.
They see themselves as gods. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that when they realize they have power over life and death. And they're also in a high, very old esoteric religion.
Yeah. And I gotta just throw in this before we kind of wrap things up here today. But again, in regards to the another documentary I saw, a lot of documentaries here, but that's the way it is. That was called 5 Ways to Save the Earth, and this, of course, was in regards to scientists' different ideas to how we're going to combat the global warming agenda. And again, this was not in regards to, that this is open for debate or anything like that. This was, people are totally convinced that we have to go in with artificial means to actually change, do something in regards to either block out sunlight or stuff like this. But it kind of the tone of all of this, and in regards to the scientists who were speaking about this, it was, that we actually have to, through artificial means, control the processes of Earth, either through, as I said, block out sunlight with the sending up, mirrors into space or something like this. But again, I think it's just kind of resonates with the fact that they're trying to take over natural processes and begin to, do this in a scientific way, I guess.
They are. It's already been done for a long time.
Yeah.
We're just not supposed to know about it. We're already run in the scientific way. We have been since the first inoculations, in fact.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Alan, I think that will be a great place to kind of round things off today. But again, as always, I'd like you to tell us about your website, of course, and how we can, support your work in case, we have new listeners or people who haven't, tuned in for that long. So give us your website address and some of the material that you have on for us there.
Yes, look into cuttingthroughthematrix.com. There's also org and net.
Yeah. And
you can check out a lot of stuff for free, and the few things I have for sale too, which go a little further, and there'll be more going up there pretty well every day.
Yeah. Excellent. So again, Alan, until next time, thank you so much for coming on. And as always, it's always a pleasure to have you here. So we'll speak again soon, my friend.
Okie doke.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the show. Check out our free radio archive with programs going back almost a year. We also have a subscriber-based archive for all you guys out there who want even more. And at the same time, you'll help and support this radio program and the redicecreations.com website. Your support makes our program and website possible. Thanks to Fredrik Palmgren behind the controls. We will be back this Thursday with another program for you. Take good care, and we'll see each other online in the meantime. This is Henrik Palmgren signing off.
Once I saw him in the moonlight, and the bats were flying.